Hi, thanks for watching. I'm Andy. I'm having a good day, but the weather isn't. Hope you're having a better day than this weather-wise. In fact, I hope you're having a really good day wherever you are. In this video, we will do a reading very shortly, but I'm going to go for a wander up the lane first, and I'm shooting this here in the doorway, just in case the wind noise gets too much and I sort of lose the whole thing. Right, off we go. No idea if this is going to work until I get back and stick it through the computer and listen to it, but we'll see what happens. I wanted to add something before we get down to anything else to the video Afterlife Answers, or questions about the afterlife. Here's some answers that I put up yesterday, because there was one very important thing I forgot. Just kind of cat action going on stopped me and things got in the way. Hang on. Oh, that's better. I just wanted to get up the first stretch of the hill first, because wow, look at that. It's a long way back down again, and it was a long way up, and yeah, I could hardly speak for puffing and panting. So here we are at the top of the really steep bit. And yeah, what I wanted to add to that video is just basically what I call the soul contract. And I'm sure there's other names for it actually, but that's what I call it. What do you call it, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. It's always good to get people's different takes from different parts of the world and different traditions. Oh, sorry, I'm still out of breath. But yeah, the soul contract, actually someone did write in the comments, very rightly, that the time of our birth right through to the time of our passing on to the other side of life is all planned out before we ever come to this existence. And this actually includes people who take their own life, you know, people who commit suicide. Very, very terrible thing for us to comprehend, really. And someone's passing is always a tragedy, however it happens, you know. But it is actually all mapped out. And when you think about it, it's got to happen, really. You can't have a physical existence without it coming to an end, because that's the nature of all things physical. We are eternal beings, eternal souls, but we live in this world in a physical way, because that's the nature of the lessons that we've got to learn. And the soul will have certain lessons that it needs to learn from each incarnation. And it is all planned out before we come here. It's something we sign up to in a way. Not sure if that's the best way to put it, because it makes it sound like a contract with the bank where you'll have like bailiffs knocking on your door. And it's nothing like that, you know. Spiritual energy is pure light. And everything that goes on in the afterlife or between incarnations is controlled in the lightest and most beautiful way, because that's the kind of souls that we really are when everything is said and done. So calling it a contract is really just a way of understanding it in this physical world, and that's why I call it that. But yeah, we sign up to this long before we ever come to this earth, and it's all worked out before we come here. So when the end comes to physical life, it's, you know, it might seem very unnatural to us, but it is always a natural ending to things, and it's always something that's been fairly clearly planned out. Anyway, so I'm sure there's more I could say about the afterlife, but it'll have to be for future videos, because it's that old thing, it's superhuman knowledge, and I can't remember it all in one go. But yeah, you know, it's an infinite subject about an infinite realm, really. But anyway, in this one, before we get to the reading, I am going up the lane because I ordered a new tarot deck for my my kid. She's essentially my daughter, but she's sort of going through the trans thing, so she's my kid, really, you know, with no gender, which seems a good way of looking at it. Lee, her name is. I can't call my daughter it, can I, really? No, but anyway, her name is Lee, and so I'm just going up to the mailbox to see if it's arrived yet. It should have done, courtesy of Amazon Prime, which seems to be able to find me at the moment. I hope they keep this up, but we'll take a walk up the lane and see what we find. Right, let's just turn the camera around, facing in front. And off we go. I wonder if the cats will actually join me today. This is the way I usually come in the car. The camera's not very stable though, is it? I'll turn it back on if the cats come. But for now... And there is the mailbox, the post box. You can't see it very clearly yet, but you will now. It's this silver thing. And perhaps, if we look all around, perhaps you can understand why the delivery drivers can't always find this. But I don't know, I haven't had a notification yet, but the drivers tend to wait till the end of the day and type them all in. Seems to be the way it happens at the moment. So I'm trying to be psychic now. Now I think this post box looks pregnant with something. I just got that feeling there's something in there. So let's see if I'm right. Aha! 2 letters for the guy next door. So it isn't. Okay. No sign of it anywhere. Here we are at the actual road, and as you can see, or really as you can't see, it's not there. Never mind. It was a fun walk out anyway. Back in the house, which is rather nice because that just wasn't good weather out there, to be honest, kind of quite dull. Turns out Prime still haven't actually managed to find my address, so I don't know why I ever believed that they would. Anyway, we will do a reading. First, by the way, I'm beard curious. I'm just trying a beard to see what I think of having a beard at the moment. Anyway, we're going to do 10 cards today. It's essentially a 5-card picker card. We've got 5 tarot cards, but we've also got 5 cards from Kyle Gray's amazing Keepers of the Light deck, just to give us a bit more meaning on the 5 tarot cards we've got. But you'll be able to pick your own cards, mix and match them, be your own psychic. It works. So let's put the camera on the table and see what we get. And here they are. So which one do you actually fancy? Which one do you like the look of? Or is there more than one? It's up to you to decide, guys. Like I say, be your own psychic. We're going to go in this direction. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for each one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keepers of the Light cards by Kyle Gray. And before I go any further, let me just point out to the lovely image on the back of all these cards. It's a Vesica Pisces through which your ideas sort of birth into the universe. And as magical as that is something that's happening every single day. You know, it goes on a micromanagement kind of level almost. Everything you sort of decide to eat, when you decide to get out of bed, everything you do in the day is something to do with ideas in your head. And it's something you can always give to the angels, whatever it is, or you can give it to the divine powers. And of course, always we want to try and use our higher self. So really everything we do is giving birth to something into the universe. It really is. I could go on and on about that. It's decisions we make about recycling, you know, what food we're going to eat, absolutely everything, really everything. So with that, let's go to card number 1. I guess you've picked your cards by now. Let's go to card number 1 from Tarot in Wonderland, and it's the 7 of Cups. Kind of feeling of illusion about this card. Alice is doing the right thing looking away from these illusions, because that's really the message of this card. We've got 4 candles, a divine sort of angel number of 4 there, trying to shed light on things. But of course candles shine in all directions. It's not like a light where there's a sort of backing to it or a shade round it and it's forcing the light in one direction. The candles are lighting up in every direction, so there's no need just to look at what's happening here. The story at this point, Alice is trying to work out how to actually get out of this hallway, but she does it in the end. This is where things get curiouser and curiouser, as you'll recognise if you've ever read Alice in Wonderland. So this is about creativity, really, and it's an invitation to lean on your imagination, to use your imagination as you work with this sort of baffling world which is full of crazy possibilities in all directions. You know, some things are a bit scary, and sometimes we don't know why things are a bit scary. But the thing to do is actually, you know, feed yourself with your own creative energy. Feed yourself. It's already there inside you, isn't it? But this world is always trying to tell us, don't be creative. Don't try and go in that direction. Do kind of the normal thing. Be as normal as you possibly can be. And that just doesn't work here, because these illusions represent illusions that we find around us all the time in life. And the question is, you know, how are we going to actually deal with the massive amount of choices that there are before us? Use your imagination, be as creative as you can. That's the way, guys. So what Kyle Gray card have we got to go with this? Let's turn it over. Okay, it's Joan of Arc. And she is the voice of truth, and she is saying, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So there you go. That's why we need to be creative, really, because we do always need to be speaking our truth as much as we can in this crazy world of ours. We all have some kind of important truth within ourselves that we need to express to other people, because, well, everyone's got a large amount of truth at the core of their soul, but you know, there are different truths come through different people, really. So your purpose is important, really. And yeah, release the fear of persecution, speak your truth. Not everyone's going to agree with you, but that's how you'll come closer to like-minded people. And this is what really allows your creativity to be a positive thing, because it's not just going to help you, it's going to help the other people that you actually share that creative voice, that truthful voice with. Right, so there is card number 1. What have we, I wonder, for card number 2? 10 of Pentacles. This is a good one. And we're not even at the middle of the reading yet. This is really good. 10 of Pentacles, lots of abundance. And the meaning of this card is really about how the universe has your back. That would be a very good way to put it. The universe always has your back. The universe wanted you to be here. That's the only reason you actually came and incarnated into this world. And within that idea of it being the universe, we've got our ancestors, we've got our loved ones who've passed to the other side, also the angels. And what these 3 portraits represent here is just the fact that we've all got loved ones in the spirit world looking out for us. And by implication, it's another sort of thing telling us that the universe has our back, that all things are possible. And that we don't really need to worry about what it is we're trying to manifest, because the journey of life is going to keep unfolding anyway. It's important to actually go with that flow, and it's a lot easier to go with that flow if you get plenty of rest. So don't worry, I guess, is another important aspect of what this card is saying. The cats aren't worried, are they? And this cat, the grinning Cheshire cat, the Ginger Tom down there having a sleep, is actually the representative of Alice's higher self in this deck. So even her higher self is taking a rest and just not worrying about stuff. This is a very positive message, and as it's early in the deck, there's lots of abundance there, which is great. And it's almost like having things stored up, I guess, for an emergency. You know, there's a lot of potential here. Because of all this abundance, we've got something for the rest of the journey as we go through the spread. But let's look at this one. Let's see what we've got here. Saint Germain, karma releasing, and he says, move beyond drama. Let's show you him a bit closer. Move beyond drama. Create your own path and make room for good energy. And we do all need to do that. You know, there are some wonderful people in the world who don't get very far, and it's just because they haven't sort of laid out that pathway to create that good energy in the world. And we're always asking our spirit guides and, you know, our loved ones and ancestors, like in the pictures up here, to help us lay that path, maybe prepare it and lay that path as well. But we actually have to be the ones who go ahead and do that, particularly because, just like I was saying here with the voice of truth and the Seven of Cups and all the illusions that there are in the world, we have our own particular group of illusions to deal with. We have our own particular truth to speak. So it's important that we have our own particular path. So create your own path, and of course make room for good energy. You know, there's so much I could say about that, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Have space in your life where good energy can come in. There always is space in people's lives, absolutely always. Sometimes people are so busy that they don't feel that there's any space in their life, but there always is somewhere, because the kind of spiritual space that we're talking about when we're talking about making room for good energy is not physically limited. It's not restricted by physical things. It's a state of mind, it's an attitude. So try and keep up that positive mental attitude, and karma will be released. Saint Germain is the master of the ninth ray, this violet purple colour, and he's really got a lot to do with healing. He's an absolutely amazing character. So there you go. And of course, moving beyond drama is important as well. Sometimes we've got to just cut off from the craziness that's going on around us. If it's other people's drama, somehow other people have got to resolve it. I'm not saying we can't help other people, but it's everyone's path to resolve their own dramas. So move beyond all that, make room for that good energy, and things will really get their boots on. Things will move forward much faster, much quicker. So there we have cards number 2. Do let me know which cards you picked in the description down below, by the way, guys. It's always good to know that. Helps our guides zero in on each other. So card number 3, the heart of the matter. And here we have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is seems over-prepared, really. And it looks like he's about to set off on this journey on his own path there. And he might have some fear about speaking his truth as well. But that's the Knight of Pentacles for you. He's got the abundance there. Things are looking good. But he's kind of a bit scared of something. He's kind of a bit wary about something. And his sense of wariness has a lot to do with his belief and understanding and love of resources, actually. And we were talking about all the resources that come in with the Ten of Pentacles to help us along on our journey. And we've actually only skipped one place here in the story of the tarot. We go Ten of Pentacles, no we don't, we go Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles. And we've skipped the Page stage. So we're, you know, that youthfulness, that sort of newness of the situation doesn't need to bother us here. This is actually the heart of the matter, of course, being number 3. And the Knight of Pentacles is all about resources, almost as much as the Emperor in the Major Arcana is about resources and being wise with resources. But particularly here, time is a resource. And so efficiency is something that this knight particularly has a love of, because efficiency is all to do with making the most of the time that we have. He understands that the physical world has certain laws, certain principles involved, and we can't always rush the physical world. No matter how important our spiritual path is, it's always going to be subject to the conditioning of the physical world. But he understands about a lot of things to do with resources. Time, also finances. He knows that money comes in, he knows that money goes out, and he also knows that there are always ways to get money. That's a real difficult one for a lot of people in this world at the moment, I know. But there is always a way sometimes. Sometimes it's very, very well hidden. But that's what being resourceful is all about, really, finding it. This knight realizes that the value of human relationships is really massive in terms of any kind of resources, and it really is. Of course, we got to think about friends, we got to think about family. We don't always get on with them. Sometimes we've got to cut the cord and move on, but that's only because we're listening to the wrong people, or maybe just kind of with a group of people that aren't ready to support us on the next leg of the journey. And as the middle card, this is all about the next leg of the journey. But basically, this character will do what he promises to do, and it's an exhortation to you, dear viewer, to try and live up to the things that you promise yourself you're going to do, as much as anything else. And that is really, really going to help you if you can take that attitude. So now then, what have we for card number 3 down here? From Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light deck. Oh, let's show it up to the camera there. Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Right, now that keyword there, I guess, is understanding, because that's really what this night is all about. Is about understanding resources, not just hanging on to them, but actually understanding them, understanding what the resources can help you do. It's all about what you can do, and truth is being revealed, it says. Well, that is the case all the time. It's just a question of whether we're willing to actually listen to the truths that are being revealed to us. Downloads, also an interesting one. Many of us on the spiritual path, if not all of us on the spiritual path, actually I'm going to say it is all of us on the spiritual path, have some kind of download going on. We're downloading something from the universe. It comes in bursts. Sometimes it comes as like a ringing sound in the ears, and we were talking about that, and Adrienne going through that at the moment, AQ, on our live session last night. And if you haven't seen any of the live streams yet, do please come and join us. We're live every week 3 times, Wednesday and Sunday, both at 3 p.m. Central USA and 9 p.m. UK. And on Fridays, a slightly different one. We go live at 5 p.m. Central Time, which is 11 p.m. here in UK. So things move a bit. Each show has its own character. And last night, downloads was a big thing, because, that lady, as I say, is getting downloads, a ringing in the ear sound, which lets us know we're downloading something from the universe. And we get gaps between the downloads as well, and sometimes people feel a bit desperate when we come to one of those gaps. People have that feeling that they'll never understand whatever it is, and that feeling also that maybe the spirit realms have ditched them in some way, or kind of left them by the wayside. This is not the case. These downloads need us to understand them. The downloads and the understanding actually go together, and that's the only way we get the resources into a sweet spot where we can actually use them. So we need time to understand this amazing knowledge that's coming from the universe, because it is on a massively bigger scale than the human brain can take in all at once. So friends, know that somewhere along the line you are actually downloading, even if you're on an understanding phase and there's nothing new coming in. It's all a part of the download, a big part of the download, in fact. So, card number 3, let's come to card number 4 and see where we get with this one. What have we got here? Did you pick card number 4, friends? It is the Queen of Wands. There she is, looking very strict there. And there's a definite feeling of thinking outside the box with this card. She is kind of a judgmental character here. Her black cat is there, so, all is good spiritually speaking. That the black cat being in the picture is a symbol of spiritual understanding and being a kind of a senior sort of person in the world, which, of course, queens always are. She's very sure of herself, and basically the authority she has is fair enough. She's actually earned that authority through experience of life. Her intuition is really good. That's another thing the black cat is telling us. And she can work out when her instructions haven't been followed. And in this sense, guys, she's part of your higher self. Your higher self is always going to be uncomfortable if you're not following out what's actually being being taught to you, I guess, by your higher self, because it all comes from your life experience in conjunction with what the spiritual side of things is teaching you and showing you in your life. And that higher self really is a queenly figure. You know, we've got this royal purple colour here, which, you know, is as much about royalty in this card as it is about healing. But the two things do go together, and an important tenet of healing, an important factor of anything to do with healing, is understanding that you do actually have the right to heal yourself. So she doesn't put up with any nonsense, basically, and she's got a black heart on her red flag there. So she is really serious. She means business. If this card is the one you chose, it's possible that you're quite a charismatic person. If not, it's quite possible that someone very charismatic is going to come into your life and actually help you get forward. But listen to this energy. Pay attention to it. That's what really matters. Really it is. Excuse me, getting a bit gravelly here. So let's turn over Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light deck card number 4. And this one is Freya, Phases and Cycles. There is a beginning, says Freya, within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Now this is great just before the last card of a reading, because it shows something else that's really important for any of us to complete any journey that we go on in this life. The fact that illusions need to be revealed, illusions need to be released, and here this goes hand in hand with the seriousness of the Queen of Wands. You know, it's a serious business, whatever the spiritual undertaking is that you're engaged in this life, and we're all engaged in something, absolutely for sure. But it's really important to release things from the past and actually, you know, release good things which have come in, because abundance is like a conveyor belt. If you use the abundance, more abundance will come in. If you don't release what you've understood, then, you know, the rest of the understanding cycle is going to get held up rather. But, you know, releasing illusions is super important in this card, obviously, because that is the only thing that's going to get us to the end point of this reading, and it's the only thing that's going to take us further along our spiritual path. So Freya, wonderful Norse goddess actually, and I come from the north of England, so I really like her energy a lot. I had a girlfriend that looked a bit like her once as well, actually, which was nice. And there is the moon, and there is the raven, you know, so sorry, lost the camera there for a second. So a great deal of intuition is there, you know. Grandmother Moon is showing us that every single day, every single night. And the raven is saying, be serious, just like the black cat is saying, be serious, just like the Queen of Wands is saying, be serious. So let's come to card number 5. Okay, this is essentially our outcome. Queen of Pentacles, great. This is the sheep shopkeeper. I love this card. I just think she looks a real funny character. And also, you know, Queen of Pentacles. It's that Pentacles energy. It's earthy, it's grounded, but at the same time, it's all about abundance. And this again shows us the importance of grounding. And guys, we live in times where we're really actively discouraged from grounding ourselves an awful lot. We're encouraged to believe in science as the only answer to certain things that are going on in the world at the moment, quite worrying things, and the temptation to just release that whole goddess energy thing from your life and just go along the scientific path is massive. Now, if you're watching this, I guess you haven't given in to that, but there are lots of influences in the world always trying to get us to give in to the whole science thing, for which there is no real proof. You know, the scientists reckon they're all about excuse me, all about proof and all about certainty, but it's only really from the very modern perspective of life that those scientific truths actually make sense. So let's keep looking at that older energy, that more ancient energy of spiritual progress. In this card, Alice has made great spiritual progress, and she's sitting on the shelf right there in doll form. Now, in the story of this card, the sheep shopkeeper tells Alice that she's earned the right to take whatever she wants from the shop. This shop isn't one where you pay in money. This is a shop where you pay by earning the right as you go along your path through this life, and Alice has earned that life. So Alice very wisely
able to choose whatever she wants from the shelves. She chooses an egg in the story. So she's choosing new life. She's choosing the next stage of the journey. And as we go along the line of cards, we're just coming to, and it's off the camera, but we are coming to the next stage, the next stage of development, the next stage of life. Because as I so often say, there are no limits to spiritual progress, absolutely none. It's not physical, so it's not limited. It plays into this world, and this world is so limited, as we've seen in the rest of the spread here. But the spiritual knowledge, the spiritual understanding, and the lessons we learn are never limited. There is always, always more to come, friends. So there is the Queen of Pentacles, card number 5 from the tarot. What is card number 5 from Kyle Gray going to be all about? Let's turn it over, bring it up to the camera. Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens, and she says, you have something important to share. Follow the call. Don't let anything stop you. And that goes wonderfully with this card. They always seem to go really nicely together, actually, which is something I always give thanks for as a reader. It's a wonderful thing, but it keeps proving to me as a reader that, like we said here, the universe has my back, the angels are on the case, and spirit are making things work out, which is always good. The roses in this card are just a little reminder that there are people in the spirit world who love you. Again, a bit like the Ten of Pentacles with the family portraits up here. But if you chose this card in particular, then that's just something to add into the reading. You know, there are people in the spirit realms who are sending you love all the time, as well, of course, as the Ascended Masters, who are so beautifully pictured in this deck by Kyle Gray. Teacher Awakens. Okay, so something's going on here. The Queen of Pentacles essentially is a teacher, and she represents the divine teaching forces, the divine teaching energies, really. And so that is awakening. And, you know, yeah, you have something important to share, just like it says. Everybody does, you know. And if you feel like you're someone who would never have anything important to share, then this applies to you all the more, because you have. Every human being has. It's all about following the inner call, as she also says. If you don't follow that inner calling, then you're never going to really get in touch with what it is you have to share. And finally, don't let anything stop you, okay? Because it's the end card of the reading, but you know, this reading is about today. It's about this part of life. It's about where we are right at this minute. And there is more of life to come. There's always more of life to come. Even when people pass over into the afterlife. Oh, sorry about that. This camera, it's a pretty good camera. I'm pleased with it, but I keep getting this message that it's overheated, and it doesn't feel hot or anything, but I have to give it a little rest. It's kind of temperamental. But yes, as I was saying with Mary Magdalene there, you know, it is actually every part of the journey of this life is leading to another part of the journey, and even when our time comes to pass into the afterlife, there is still more of a journey. It's just the other side of life. There is still more to come. So with that, friends, there is today's reading. Hope you found that helpful. So do hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because there are more videos coming all the time, and you can watch my beard growing a bit as well, unless I decide to shave it off. Who knows? Who knows what will happen as we go forward in time? That's my beard. Even my beard is on a journey. Even things as small as that are actually on a journey. So hit the subscribe button. Please drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Do check out the live videos as well. The times are all down there in the description. If you'd like a private reading, my Gmail address is down there too. And so get in touch and we'll see what we can do. We will sort something out. Private readings, psychic readings, mediumship readings. It's usually a bit of both, actually, whichever one you choose. Also, astrology and birth charts is a speciality of mine. So if you'd like one of those, 35and83@gmail.com. It's down there in the description. Please leave me a comment, guys. We'll share the journey. It's always fun to do that, and it sort of helps our spirit guides get zeroed into each other. So have a fantastic time ahead. I'll see you again very soon in a future video, which won't be long coming. Okay, take care of yourselves, friends. Love to you, light, blessings to you, and of course, peace.